Greetings, YouTube. I've lived in the city of my current residence for 42 years. We have approximately 110,000 people. And since I've been 18, I've lived in 5 different places, and I'm in my last. That background back there isn't going to change anytime soon, folks, because when I leave this place, it's going to be feet first. And in that time, I've encountered some odd coincidences. Serendipity, fate, whatever you want to call it. When I lived in my last apartment, I had some neighbors across an alley. They were named Mike and Steve. They were a gay couple. Nice guys. They had a tiny little dog that was terrified of everything. One of them worked for Comcast and was nice enough to give me a hand with some situations I had in the past, which was cool. And they told me they were leaving, which is kind of sad. They were decent neighbors. It's hard to get decent neighbors, but you know, I'm happy they found a place they liked that was bigger, because their apartment was very small. And he starts describing the apartment to me. And I'm listening to him. And then he shows me a picture of the outside of the building, and I stopped dead. And I looked at him and I said, I used to live there. He's like, what? I said, yeah. Second floor apartment, got a third floor attic space that you have access to? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, and it was a nice apartment. The second floor was kitchen, dining room, living room, bedroom, bath, all connected with a long corridor. And the third floor was one big space with a stairway in the middle, so the room actually surrounded the stairway. That was the room when I lived there, and it was back when I was 20, was used by my roommate. He lived up there. That was his space, and I pretty much occupied the second floor, and we shared the living room and kitchen and such. And the dining room was pretty much our gaming room. That's, you know, didn't get used for much else. And I thought that was pretty weird. You know, somebody I'm living next to, you know, just at random decides they're going to move into my old apartment. Well, yesterday, November 5th, 2011, I was at a hardware store. It's Lowe's, and it's going out of business. So I was there to see what kind of deals I could get. And it was 50% off, so I picked up a huge pack of light bulbs, because I just moved here. I need light bulbs. A new door handle for my mother-in-law's place, and some lettering that I needed for a mailbox. And I'm in line, and it's a long line. I mean, the place is going on of business. I was in line for like 40 minutes, I think. I didn't care. I had nothing else to do Saturday. I was by myself. My wife was working. So I struck a conversation up with the person in front of me. And it was a couple. I never caught his name, but her name was Megan. Nice people. And we're talking about the fact, you know, talking about being in line and home improvement and all that kind of stuff. They're talking about the fact that they're renters and they live in a certain section of the city. I said, yeah, I used to live in that section of the city. And I named off some streets I used to live on. And I said, yeah, I used to live on this street. And I said, right across the street from the church. I love that view. And he said, yeah. I said, yeah, I did a place, I figured they lived in the same block. So I said, yeah, it's a place that a gay couple, Mike and Steve, were living in last I knew. And they looked at me and they're like, that's where we live. I said, what? I said, yeah, we live on the second and third floor. And which struck me as very odd, but I didn't get wowed by it because, frankly, at this point in my life, I'm used to weird stuff. But it got me thinking, what are the chances that I'm going to run into 2 different couples in a city of 110,000 people over the course of 3 or 4 years, I think it was, between these 2 events, 3 years between these 2 events, that live in the same building, in the same apartment that I did? I'm not a statistician. I don't know how to figure that out. But frankly, I think the odds are pretty darn small.